guys, today we're going to be doing my second episode in the Married at First Sight series that I started not that long ago. If you didn't watch my first episode, basically what I do, this is inspired by the TV show. So basically what I do is I am the expert and I'm going to pair two palettes together and we're going to see if they end up happily ever after or if they get a divorce. I know it's extremely cheesy, but it's also extremely fun. So I think we should just go ahead and pick out the palettes and see what I want to pair together today. So let's just do that. Welcome back to my palettes. This is how I store my palettes. If this is your first time seeing this, it's a mess, but that's okay. I do have a palette in mind today that I really want to work with that I haven't done a lot with lately, and I've only made one video with this. I did bring this traveling to Norway when I went for Christmas, and I had a really good time playing with this palette at home. But I want to do something with this today. So what I'm thinking is, since this is a very dark palette, it's got some pretty deep mattes, it's got some very deep shimmers, I want to bring in something that's kind of complementary to that and contrasting with that. So I want to find more of like a lighter tone palette that's maybe going to go well with this. So I'm just going to plop her right there, and then we're going to go through some of these palettes. So like the first palette that sort of came to my mind was the, where is the Violet Voss palette that I had somewhere? It's probably hiding behind something as usual. Alright, so this one. This is kind of the one that I'm thinking at first glance. Wow, this is so much harder than it looks doing it with one hand. But I feel like these two palettes could really complement each other very nicely. So I would say that's definitely a contender. I also just haven't used this palette in, I don't even know, since I reviewed it really. I've dipped into it here and there, but I haven't done that much with it. What else could I pull out that's sort of a lighter color scheme? I could also do this little palette from P.O Cosmetics. This is definitely more of a softer palette, so I feel like these two together could look pretty nice. But I also feel like the tones in these are somewhat similar and not as contrasting as the ones that were in the Violet Voss palette, so maybe I'll put that one back. And I'm trying to pick some palettes here that I haven't really featured, you know, recently. Like, I don't really want to do any of my pastel palettes because I feel like I've used those a lot lately. So I want to do something that I haven't really dipped into for a while. Oh crap, did you see what I just did? I just dug my palette right into that shadow. Oh well, what can you do? What about these two together? Could that be kind of fun? Ooh, I kind of like that. What do you guys think? I wish I could ask you. I feel like those would work so nicely, but I also just want to use that Violet Voss palette. Maybe I'll save this for next time we do one of these videos, and then I can pull this palette out and pair this with something else. And then for today's video, we can use this palette along with the Violet Voss palette. I think that's what I'm going to do. So these two are going to be my pairing today. I'm excited to do a look with these. The palettes are chosen, so the only thing that's left to do is create a look with these. So I'm just gonna start by priming. I think what I want to do today is, I got some requests in my video where I used a NARS primer for the first time to compare to my Natasha Denona one, so we're just gonna do that. It's not going to be, the video isn't going to be about that, but if you want to like keep an eye on what's happening on both eyes, you can do that. So I'm going to use my NARS primer on this eye, and I'm going to use my Natasha Denona one on the other eye, and we're just going to see if there's a difference at all. So let's just take a look at these palettes like side by side now. And what I really like about these together is that there's basically a lighter matte and a darker matte in the same color. So we can use something with the blues because there's a blue matte to darken things up with. There's also a yellow and orange, kind of like a darker orange, as well as like a browny red, as well as a brown. And like there's something to deepen up every single matte in this color, and you also have the purple in here, which it's not a great purple, but it's dark enough that I could use it on its own to like deepen something up with. And there's also like these beautiful jeweled dark shimmers in here, which are just absolutely beautiful, and you have all of your inner corner shades. I feel like these are going to be a perfect match. I feel like these are going to be better matched together than the previous pair that I matched, because I wasn't really that happy with, I mean, I was happy with the end result, but I wasn't so happy about the process using them together as I thought I would be. But I can already tell that with these two, they just complement each other perfectly. So I'm really excited about getting into this. So what kind of colors do I want to work with today? I'm thinking I kind of want to play with some of the green shimmers, I think. So maybe I'll do something like purple in the crease. Maybe that could be kind of fun. I could also do something kind of unique and use maybe this pink along with this teal color up here as my crease. Maybe that could be interesting. Maybe that's something to play with. I think that's what I'm going to do actually. So I think I'm going to start with this color right here, which is the Pink and Violet Voss palette. And already before we start, I'm not sure how this look is going to end up looking with my hair. I feel like it's going to kind of clash, but it's fine. I don't really care. It's not like I'm going anywhere anyway. So let's just go in with this pink shadow in my crease here. And from what I remember about this palette when I worked with it, it's been quite some time now, but I had a really, really good time when I reviewed this palette, and I have dipped into it since, but I haven't done a look really using a lot of the shades in this palette. I've more just dipped into it for like inner corner shades and stuff. So I mean, I'm very excited to just have a play with this again, because it is one of my, I don't want to say favorite palettes in my collection, but it's a very unique palette to my collection, I feel like. So just gonna go ahead and put this pink into my crease. As you can see, this is laying down very beautifully. And I washed all of my brushes last night. It always feels so good. It's such a chore. I hate doing it, but it just always makes me so happy when I can sit down and do my makeup with all clean brushes. And like already just putting this pink on my Natasha Denona side, it's amazing how big of a difference I can tell already. Like I just feel like the NARS primer grips onto colors so nicely. And I kind of love it. I don't know. It's just a really, really good primer. It's so crazy when you put something side by side and you really compare it next to each other instead of just using one day and one the next day. And you can't really tell that much like exactly how they differ because you're not doing them back to back, if that makes sense. But like the end result ends up looking similar, but I feel like I just have to work harder to not only blend things but also to build it up, and it just looks a lot brighter on the NARS side. I really like this primer so far. I think that looks great. So this is definitely going to get a lot more muted when I go in with that teal shade to deepen this up. I am going to bring this color up quite high because I also want to bring the other color up quite high. So I just want to make sure I have room to really deepen this color up here. I'm also going to take this pink down to my lower lash line, I think. I feel like I haven't done any like complicated looks in quite some time, but sometimes, you know, I'm just not really in the mood to do like cut creases and fancy shit. And sometimes I just want to do looks that are like easy for me to do and like in my comfort zone, if you will. Like I feel like we all have that comfort zone where there's just certain styles of eyeshadow or like shapes of eyeshadow that we like to do. And for me, it's definitely just like using two colors in my crease and then go in with a couple of shades on my lid without doing a cut crease. Like that's just kind of like I would consider my comfort zone. My comfort zone has nothing to do with like colors per se. It's more just like a technique thing, I guess. I do want to start a series though where I try to do looks that are out of my comfort zone and like try to do new techniques and stuff like that. If you want to see that, let me know. And also if there's anything that you want to see me try. I don't think I want to do like special effects makeup or stuff like that because it's not really something I'm interested in, but there's definitely like different techniques of eyeshadow or face makeup and stuff like that that I would like to just test out that I've kind of just been, I guess, too scared to do because I'm afraid I'm going to just mess it up and I don't want to waste a video. But like I have to remind myself that it's okay to make mistakes and like I can still post a video, you know, because I'm sure we all make mistakes from time to time, and there's definitely things that I've, you know, been wanting to try but I just don't because I don't want it to turn out bad. Like one thing in particular that I really want to try to do is like faux freckles, but I don't have like the right products to do it with. And so I'm scared if I do it, it's just going to end up looking like dirt on my face or just look really weird. So I just haven't really, you know, tried to do it in a video or something like that. I've tried a couple of times off camera and it just turned out terribly. So I'm like scared to do it because I just feel like I don't know how to, but it's one of those things that I would like to learn how to do. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to grab the color Shroud here from the Arcana palette, and I'm going to use that to basically deepen up all of my crease as well as my outer corner. And then we're going to go in with some of the shimmers in the other palette. I might even use one of the shimmers in this palette as well, honestly. And I feel like these are going to look so good together, like already. I'm so happy with how this is looking. This is such a cool color combination. Obviously I need to blend a little bit more, but I feel like this is going to look really, really cool. And since this is a bit of a blue, it's just going to blend into a purple in my crease, which is perfect because purple and pink go really nicely together. But I still don't think that this look is going to go with my hair color at all, but it is what it is. We're just having fun with makeup here. Alright, so I think this looks pretty good with the teal. I'm just going to dip back into that pink and just make sure I bring this color back as much as I'm able to here. And I feel like you could do this kind of crease with any palette that has a pink and a purple in it. You don't need that teal at all. I feel like maybe I didn't have to use the teal at all. I could have just gone in with a purple, but that's okay. I think this is going to come together still. Just gonna go in with a clean brush now and just really blend out the edges all the way around here, because I feel like it's taking a little while to just blend these colors out the way that I want them to be. Okay, so I think what I want to do is I want to start by taking the shade Nocturnal and put that on the outer portion of my lid here. Maybe I'll use the blue. What if oh, that could be kind of pretty too, but I don't know guys. Maybe, what if I used a green? Maybe that could be like a very fun and different color combination. That's kind of what I was thinking in the beginning though, that I wanted to do something with the purple and the green. Maybe I'll use the green. Let's just do that. So I'm going to start with Alchemy. Going to put that on the outer portion of my lid here and kind of bring back that teal vibe that we lost a little bit. So while I put on the shadow, let's just do the question of the day. So Cassandra here says, can you do a video in your first language? That would be cool to see. Also, how are you able to change your hair color so often without damaging it? It always looks so healthy. So let's start with the first one. Do I ever want to do a video in my first language? If you didn't know, I'm Norwegian. I was born and raised in Norway, so my first language is Norwegian. I'm not gonna lie though, my Norwegian is so rusty right now, because I never really speak Norwegian unless I talk to my mom, and I don't really talk to my mom like on the phone that often. I'm very much a don't call me kind of person. Like I prefer just to text or write. I don't know, maybe I'm just weird, but like I said, I just don't talk on the phone that often. So I've lived in the States now for over 10 years, and once you've lived somewhere, your brain kind of switches to like thinking in the language that you're, you know, speaking all the time. And so for me, that is obviously English. This green is so pretty. So I don't think I would necessarily do a video in Norwegian, simply because I feel like my Norwegian is so rusty. And I also got into makeup after I moved to the States. So there's so many words that I just don't even know what they are in Norwegian. Like I've never talked about makeup in Norwegian with someone else, unless it was just like talking about mascara, you know? So like, it was so funny. I was in Norway for Christmas last year, and I was trying to explain something to my mom, and I wanted to say blush. And then I told her, and I was like, blush. And she's like, do you mean rouge? I'm like, what? Like, what do you mean? Like, is that what blush is called in Norwegian? She's like, I think so. That's what we used to call it back in the day. I'm like, all right, fine. So like that would be, I feel like it would be such a train wreck if I tried to do that. So I don't think that's something I'm really comfortable doing. So I think what I want to do next on the middle of my lid here is I want to use one of the greens in this palette. So I'm thinking either this one or this one. I feel like the bottom row is more meant to be like in a corner shade. So I'm first probably going to go in with this one, which is this one right here, which is called Pistachio. As for my hair, how I keep it so healthy and how I'm able to switch colors all the time, girl, if you think my hair is healthy, it's basically falling apart, but it's fine. I honestly don't really care. I don't really care that much if my hair is like healthy, as long as it's still on my head. That's all that matters to me. And I just think it's so fun to switch colors all the time, and I don't know, maybe it has something to do with like my hair as well. Like maybe it just reacts and responds to bleach better than other people's hair. I really don't know, honestly. But I wouldn't say I switch colors that often. I would say that it really depends on the color that I have and how much I like it. Like last time I had red hair, I kept it for about 6 months, which is quite a long time. And I only really had to bleach my roots during that time so that, you know, my hair wouldn't look absolutely crazy. But when I do switch hair color and I have to get what is in my hair out, it definitely gets damaged no matter how I try to do it. It's just how it is, because you need some kind of bleach to be able to get all of the dye out of your hair. I know there's different methods that you can use, like vitamin C powder and shit. I haven't tried any of those other things. The only thing that I found that really works for me to get hair color out is the Joico color eraser, and like that one has bleach in it, so it is just going to damage your hair. It's just how it is. But I do make sure that I use good products and stuff on my hair after I've bleached it, so that probably helps. I use oils and stuff in my hair after I wash my hair. I don't know, it's a lot of maintenance to have hair colors like this, so if you think it's easy, you might want to just ask around a little bit and see how other people who have crazy hair colors do it as well before you commit to this, because it's not that easy to keep it up, let me just tell you that. So for the inner portion of my lid here, I think this looks really, really cool actually. I'm gonna go into probably the yellow. Do I want to use this one or this one? I feel like they look pretty similar. I think I'm just gonna go with the lightest one. This one is called Buttercream. Just gonna plop that right into my inner corner. And this is why I love this palette so much, because there are so many beautiful, very light shimmers, and I feel like not enough palettes has very light shimmers in it because they just make me so happy. So I'm just going to work on perfecting this a little bit and make sure that all of the blends are looking good, and then I'm gonna finish off with some liner and mascara, and I'll come back and we can do the face together because all I have on is some cream products as well as some powder. So I definitely want to put on some blush and highlighter because I haven't done that yet. So I will be back when the eyes are all done. Okay, so I am back, and as you can tell, I'm wearing lashes. Don't worry, like I've said before, I'm not going to start wearing lashes every time, but I just want to get to a point where I feel like I'm comfortable enough with applying lashes that if I do have some kind of a special occasion, I'm not going to be too scared to try to put on lashes because I feel like I'm going to ruin my look. And I do want to be able to, you know, if we're going out for a nice dinner, we're going to a nice restaurant or something, like I want to be able to put on lashes because I feel like it looks really nice and I just want to be more comfortable wearing them. So these are the Celeb Lashes from Alter Ego. I've been really liking their lashes. The other ones that I have tried, I've worn 3 times now, and I really like them. They're extremely comfortable and I don't find them to be that hard to apply. I mean, the application today, not the best, but it's fine. In my waterline today, I used the LA Girl eyeliner in the shade Fresh, which is just a turquoise. I felt like it just went really nicely with the lid colors. And for my lips, I again used my Fire and Ice lipstick by Revlon. This is one of the lustrous mattes. I love this. And we're gonna go ahead and just finish off with the face. So I think for my blush today, I want to use the Serafina blush by Juvia's Place. It's a coral blush, and I feel like I've just been wanting to use this a lot with my hair color. This one and the Natasha Denona one. I don't even think I'm gonna do any extra bronzer today because I have the cream one from Fenty, and I just feel like it's enough. Like I feel like I don't need any more bronzer, and I just feel like, I don't know, I prefer more blush in the summer than I do bronzer anyway because I tend to have a bit of a tan and I don't feel like I need to really warm up my face, if that makes sense. So I'm just gonna put on this. Maybe this is a little bit too orange. I'm not really sure. Maybe I should have gone with something a little bit more pink. I don't know. I still think it looks good. Just gonna go over that a little bit with my powder brush here, and then we're gonna find a highlighter that's going to go with this. So this is the one I want to use. This is from Nomad Cosmetics. Like I said, I did make a video with their Studio 54 collection, which is where this is from. This one is called Disco Nights, and it's a orange highlighter, kind of corally orange. I don't know. I haven't really tried it on, so I don't know what it's going to look like on the skin. And there is only one way to find out, so let's just go ahead and apply this and see what it looks like. I feel like maybe I should have used a bit of a denser brush. Let me try that. I'm gonna use my Kaleidos highlighting brush instead here, so let's see. Okay, so I feel like this is very similar to my skin tone, honestly. It's not really showing up too much of anything because it's just blending into my skin and that blush. So maybe I'll top it with something that's a little bit lighter than this. Yeah, I would say that I definitely like the blue one more than I like the orange one. I mean, can you even see that? I feel like I can see it a little bit on this side, but on the other side, it's not really showing up that much because it's just too similar to my skin tone here. I'm just gonna go over it very, very lightly with this Lethal Cosmetics one because this one is a little bit too light for me. This is in the shade Isotope. I'm just gonna take a little bit and just lighten this up ever so slightly here. You can tell that made such a big difference already. Yeah, these two mixed together are beautiful. I really like how those look together. So I guess this is going to be the face all done. So let's talk a little bit about these palettes now. I personally think that these are a match made in heaven. I felt like they worked so nicely with each other. I'm so happy with the look that came out of this. I felt like both of them performed like a dream. I mean, I already knew that they were good palettes because I obviously like them a lot because I still have them in my collection. I haven't decluttered them. But I feel like they just complement each other so nicely because there's lighter shades in this one and darker shades in this one, and also the mattes complement each other nicely, the shimmers complement each other nicely. This is a very weird position to be sitting in or trying to do anything in, but like very awkward. But I think that these palettes are perfect together. I would love to hear your thoughts. I will leave a poll up in the corner like I did last time, and you can vote on whether or not these palettes should stay married, get a divorce, or maybe just stay engaged for a little bit longer. So go ahead and vote, and also if you have both of these palettes, please least try to use them together and let me know how you feel about them, because I think they work so nicely together, and I'm honestly inspired to use these together again because I just felt like there were so many things that I could do with these, and they were just great. They were a great pairing. So let me know if you want to see more videos like this. I hope you do, because I'm probably going to keep doing them anyway, and if you made it this far in the video, you most likely liked it. So if you did like it, don't forget to like it down below. Hate saying that, but it flows so nicely. If you want to see some similar videos, here is a few more, and if you're new, I would love it if you would consider subscribing, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.